everyone, it's Natalie with Crochet by NatalieLucille. Today we're going to make this really cute beanie hat with a cute little furry faux fur pom-pom on the top. I made this recently for my niece and absolutely loved it, so I thought, you know what, I'm making one for my own. So sit back, crochet along, and we're going to make this hat together. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I am using a worsted weight yarn in like a, because I've already taken off the label, so I'm not sure the exact color, but it's a nice, like a navy blue almost. And since we're working in the rounds, I like to use my stitch markers. And then I have just a faux little, what are these called? Little top. But you put on, it's like a bobble. I can't even think of the word. So this of course goes on the top of the hat. Now the hook that it calls for in the pattern is an eye hook, but I tend to crochet loose or larger, so I go down a hook size a lot of times. This is also worked in the round. So we'll go ahead and get started. And again, this is not my pattern. I found this on Pinterest, which is 5littlemonsters.com. And this is the bead stitch crochet hat. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with a magic circle. We're going to chain two. Now the chain two does not count as a stitch, but it just basically holds its place. So we're going to chain two. And so keep your magic circle open here. And then we're going to work 10 double crochets in the magic circle. So it's yarn over, insert your hook into the magic circle, yarn over, draw up that loop, yarn over through two, yarn over through two, and we're going to do that a total of 10 times, all within the magic circle. And once I finish 10, I'll come back. Okay, so we've just made our 10 double crochets, and I'm going to take my little tail in the magic circle, and I'm just going to lightly pull it tight, and you're going to join the circle. And so you'll join it to the top of the chain two with a slip stitch. So you just slip your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then just keep drawing it through. And this is where I like to put my place marker. And of course they're joined. Let me find a loose one. Here we go. So I just mark it so I know that's round one. And I want to say, because I'm not looking at it right now, but there are, I want to say 23 rounds. So now we're going to work on round two. That's a chain two. And then you're going to put or crochet 2 double crochets in each stitch. So you'll have a total of 20 double crochets. And remember that chain two does not count as a stitch. So you're going to go into your first double crochet and you're going to work 2 double crochets in that stitch. So you go in the, let me see if I can see it. So you can just kind of get an idea. So here is your first double crochet here. And you can see the V stitch here, or the V at the top. You're going to go underneath those two. So you see how it looks, and see if you spread that, you could see that it's like a V. So you're going to yarn over and you'll pull up a loop. So there's 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and you're going to go into that same stitch with another double crochet, because you're essentially increasing, and this is the crown of the hat. And now you're going to work 2 double crochets in this. You can see the hole right through there. So you're just going to yarn over and then right through that hole right there. And so you have your stitches, so you can see the V stitch essentially on the top. So Remember, there's 2 in each round, or in each stitch in this round. This is on round number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'll do 2 stitches in, or 2 double crochets in each stitch, and then there should be a total of 20. And you want to make sure that you're always counting your stitches, because if you miscount, it messes up either a row, a round, and trust me, it is aggravating to have to pull out your work and redo. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I have my 20, and I'm going to come up here to the top of the chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch. And again, that is where I'm going to put my stitch marker. And I have a total of 20 stitches there. So now we're ready for round 3. Chain 2. And then you're going to work 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So we'll go ahead and get that started. So right here, 1 and 2. The next stitch, just 1 double crochet. So when you finish this round, you'll have a total of 30 double crochets. And here's a little trick that I do. Because when I'm making a rug, a blanket, something that is quite large, and I have to keep increasing, so I know what number I'm on. If there's 2, and then if 2 in one stitch, and then it's the increase, my 2, I always say A, B, because you'll see why. So it's A, B, and then the next stitch is 1. And then of course it's A, B, 1, A, B, 1, because the next row is going to be A, B, and then 1, 2, A, B, 1, 2. So I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished that round, and I have a total of 30. Got my stitch marker, and on this row, I'll chain 2, and it's going to be the same. It's increasing by another one. So you do 2, so that's your A, B, into the next stitch, 1, into the next stitch, 2, and then again, A, B, my yarn and hook are squeaking, 1 and 2. And we're going to go ahead and do that all the way around. I'll see you back in just a second. Okay, so finish that round, and this one is also going to be increased by 1. So you'll have a total of 50 on this round. So it's A, B, or your 1, 2, basically, and you're going to increase by 3. So next stitch, 1, 2, 3, next AB, or the 2 double crochet in the 1 stitch. So I just say AB, because if I was doing 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, if you're, it becomes pretty repetitive that you can get mixed up and be like, am I on 1 or 2, or am I on a, doubling up, or so I just, find a way to make it easier. So AB, and then we're just going to continue around, and I'll see you back in a second. And remember, there's 50 on this round. Okay, this is one of our last rows to work an increase. So you're just going to be increasing by 4. So in the next double crochet, it's the 2, so AB, and then 4 double crochets. So you will have a total of 60 double crochets on this round. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the next one is the 2 double crochets in the 1 stitch. And then 4, and then it's 2, then 4, then 2, then 4. I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished, so you can kind of see how the crown is kind of coming together. It's a little close. So sorry. Now in the next round, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to work a half double crochet in each stitch around. So you're going to have a total of 60. So the way to do a half double crochet is you come into the next stitch, and it's just yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, draw up. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and then you just pull through all 3. So I'll do that again. So into the double crochet space, we'll do it one more time. Just like that. And you're going to do 60 half double crochets all the way around, and of course you'll join it on the other side. And I have my stitch markers or place markers to see. It's just easier to count the rows as well, especially when you have a lot of rows. So I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so I just finished my 60 half double crochets. In this round, this is kind of interesting. So you're going to chain 2, and this is going to be 60 half double crochets in this round. But what you're going to do on this one, see, this is our normal double crochet that we would work in. There's loop number 1, loop number 2, but we are going to go into the back here. Do you see this loop right here? That is the loop you're going to be working in. So you're going to yarn over and just kind of turn your work just a little bit so you can see it. And you're going to go right through there. Do you see that? We'll do it again. So it is a half double crochet. So you're going to go into the next, and see, it almost automatically starts turning your work down. So if you hear 1 loop, the 2nd loop, the 3rd loop is right there. You just kind of turn it just a little bit more. So that is a half double crochet. You're going to want to do that all the way around. So there's a total of 60. So you just keep working in that 3rd loop. And see how it starts to kind of turn your work out. You'll see it more pronounced as the row goes on. So remember, here's your 1st loop, 2nd loop, kind of turn it just a little bit. There's your 3rd loop. And that's where you want to go in. Do you see right there? That's where you want to go in. You've turned your work just a little bit, and that's exactly where you want to go. So I'm going to do 60 of those around. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I just made my 60 in the 3rd loop, half double crochet. So I don't know if you can see how it kind of gives a nice texture. And it using that 3rd loop, and we're going to do another round of that. So this is, let's see, round number let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. We are round 9. So I've already chained my 2, so you just kind of, there's the top, kind of turn it around just a little bit just to get into that 3rd loop. If you see it right there. Whoa, I'm moving out of screen. Oops, I forgot to yarn over. So yarn over, and we're working the 60 half double crochets. So again, here's your first loop, second, turn it just a little bit to get to your third. And we're going to work 60 around. So I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished that round, and you can kind of see how it gives that little bit of a textured look. Now this round you are going to end up with 64, and this is all single crochets. So we're still working in that third loop. So what you want to do, I'm sorry, I chained 2. I'm only supposed to chain 1 on this row. Once you join, you chain 1, and you're going to work 2 single crochets in the first third loop. Ooh, if I can get it in there. There we go. So a single crochet, and I'll walk you through that. So it's literally just insert, yarn over, draw up. You got 2 loops, and you do 2. Now you're going to work 1 single crochet in that third loop in the next 14. So working in the back is just 1, 2, and I'm going to go ahead and come back at 14. So I've just made the 14 single crochets in that third loop, and so in the next one you're just going to go in and make the 2 single crochets, and you're going to basically repeat this around. So it's 2 and then 14, 2, 14, all the way around, and you'll have a total of 64. Okay, now on this round, we are going to work our first bead stitch, and there's going to be a total of 32 beads in this, so to speak. So what you want to do with this is you want to chain 2, and you're going to come to the first, it's kind of hard to see, this is it, and you're going to work a double crochet in the first single crochet here. Now we're going to work a bead stitch around the post of the double crochet you just made. So it's yarn over, you're going to go kind of behind it and around, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops. You're going to do that 2 more times. So yarn over, go around, yarn over, pull up. So now you have about 5 loops, it looks like. Yarn over, this is the last time, so you should go around that post and pull up a loop, yarn over, and you're going to go through all of the loops on your hook, just like that, and that becomes what's called a bead stitch. And they call it a bead stitch, and then it's like a puff stitch. And then what you want, let me just read up on this just for a second to make sure that I don't mess up. Okay, I was doing that correct, just wanted to make sure. So you see where we worked this stitch, you're going to skip this one and you're going to work the stitch into this again. So you're going to do a double crochet into here. And it just becomes a regular double crochet. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to work that bead stitch or puff stitch around the post here. So you just yarn over and you come like you're going in behind it. Then you yarn over and you pull up a loop. So you do it again. So you're working around here. Yarn over. Oh, almost lost it. Insert into there. Yarn over and then pull up like that. So now you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go in here, yarn over, and pull up. So now it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and you kind of want to, you don't want to pull hard, but you want to make sure that your hook is turned down so it can slide right, well, most of the time it slides right through. Sometimes you have to kind of like wiggle it. Let's see. I want to make sure that it just, there we go, slides right through. We just worked into this stitch, as you can see. You're going to skip this one. You'll work that another time. There's going to be a total of 32 bead stitches on here. So I'll work this one with you and then I'll come back at the end. So it's just yarn over. See how you went around the back side of the post, yarn over, come back through, yarn over, go into around the post, yarn over, back through. 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert into there, yarn over, and then draw up. So now it looks like there's 7 loops. So yarn over, and then you're just going to pull through all of them. So I'll be back at the end of this round. Still working my way around. I'm about halfway there, but you can kind of see what the bead stitch or puff stitch around looks like. It's actually really cool. It's a fun stitch to do. This was the first time when I made this hat originally for my niece. This was the first time I'd ever done a bead stitch or puff stitch like this. So I'm sitting here doing this while I'm working this row. I was like, this is actually a fun stitch to do. I like it. All right, I'll come back at the end. Okay, round 12. So we just finished our beads all the way around. You can kind of see how the hat starts to take shape. So this is more like a nice little beanie. So now on round 12, we're going to chain 2. And then you're just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch around. So you're going to have a total of a total of 64 stitches. So we'll go ahead and work into each one. So just a half double crochet in the top of that bead stitch, and then right into this area, just a half double crochet, and just kind of keep working around. You're going to have a total of 64 as you work around, and I'll be back. Okay, that round is done, and the next 2 rounds are going to be worked exactly the same. So you're going to chain 2, and then again you're going to work the 64 half double crochets around in the 3rd loop on each stitch. So remember, there's the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. If you turn it just a little bit, you see it right there. So that's what we're going to work into. So half double crochets in that 3rd loop. And you're going to do a total of 64, and you're going to do the next round row exactly the same. So this row has 64, you join and then chain 2, and you'll do in that 3rd loop another 64. So I'll come back after, not this row, or round, but the next round is completed. Wow, that was really close, and I'm sitting here looking at the work, not looking at the video, and I'm like, woo, take a look at that. Anyway, okay, so I'll be back. Okay, now we're ready for round 15, and you can really see how the hat is taking shape and the texture of it. It's kind of hard to get it all in the video, but you can see where you have the bead stitch and the 3rd loop stitches. It's really cool looking. So on this next round, and so we're going to be doing a little bit of repeating, but guess what, everybody? We're over halfway there, so this works really fast. So in this one, you're just going to work a single crochet around the entire round, basically. So insert, and these are in your regular 1 and 2 loops, not the 3rd loop. So this is just going straight into there. So you can kind of see my hat doesn't want to lay down. Oops, we're doing single crochets. So you're going to do 64 single crochets all the way around. Okay, we are now ready. Oops. There we go. We're ready for round 16. So you can see, oh, my light just went out, but I'm hoping you can still see. I think it's fine. Okay, so we're going to do another round of the bead stitch. So it's chain 2, and you're going to come into this stitch here with a double crochet. And then you're going to work around the post with like the puff stitch. So you go right around, yarn over, and then you draw up where you have 3 loops. Yarn over, insert, draw up, yarn over, insert around, and then you've brought up. There you go, and slide it right on in. Skip the next stitch, and you're going to go into the next one after the skipped one, because remember there's only 32 of the bead stitches on this round. So again, my hat's not wanting to lay flat where I can like get around the video. So here we're going to yarn over, around, so you yarn over, pull up, yarn over, around, pull up, one more time, yarn over, go around that post where you have your loops, and shimmy shimmy through there. There we go. It worked. Sometimes you hold your breath as you're pulling it through, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So trial and error. We'll do that one more time, and I'll just keep working my way around after this one for a total of 32. Just like that. Yeah, it's squeaky. So I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, so I just finished round 16 with the bead stitches, and now with this row it is literally the same as it was before, and it's where you chain 2, and you're going to have double crochet in each stitch around, so you'll have a total of 64. So you'll come up and you'll go into the first stitch, and you're just going to work 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, and you'll have a total of 64. So just keep working it around. Okay. I'm running out of room on my video, and I forgot to put my stitch marker here. So in the next 2 rounds, so it's going to be round 18 and round 19, you're going to work the half double crochets. There's a chain 2, half double crochets in that 3rd loop. So you'll come to your first stitch. There's your 2 right here, and kind of turn it just a little bit. Let's get our stitch ready. Oops. Goes right there. Do you see? And so you're going to work your 64 half double crochets in that back 3rd loop in this round and the next round. So I'm just going to work these 2 rounds and come back after I finish that one. I'm just going to interject for just a second. I wasn't sure if I was recording just a second ago, so I'm working on the next 2 rounds, and you chain 2, and then with the half double crochets, you're working in that 3rd loop. So there's the 1, 2, and then the 3rd is behind. You're going to do that on the next 2 rows, but I wasn't sure if I was recording or not. So again, the way that it looks is there's your first or front 2 loops. You just kind of go behind here into that 3rd loop. So it kind of gives it a 3D textured effect. Okay, I am in a squeaky chair. My apologies. Okay, so it's getting harder to get all in the screen, but you can kind of see how it's working its way up. On this round, you are going to double crochet after you chain 2. You're going to double crochet in that 3rd loop. So just kind of, there's your first loop, 2nd loop, kind of turn it just a little bit more, and there it is right there. So you just yarn over and then go double crochet. You're going to do that all the way around for 64 double crochets. And that's it on this row. Just like that, all the way around. And this row is number 20. So technically you only have, let's see, this row, 21, 22, and 23. So it's almost done. And you can have, honestly, you can have this done in, while you're watching a movie. It does not take long to make at all. This is such a fun little hat. And I will see you when I come back. Okay, we are ready for our next row, which is actually the last 3 rows, which are the same. But I realized I may have done a row incorrect because looking at, there's 3, 2, and 3. So I think on this one, I mean, you can keep it the same. It looks fine. But I think I made a mistake of not doing the 3rd loop. So it basically is the pattern that is on the website. I just so happened to look and I was like, oh, looks a little different, but it still works out. I think it's still a handsome, beautiful hat. So I'm going to try and crochet this here and hope that it can get in the picture. So the next 3 rows are exactly the same, and it is a total of 64 of your stitches. So that is a chain 2. So looking at the double crochets that you've made from the previous round, the first stitch, what you're going to be working is a double crochet, but you're going to be working it around this post in the front. So you just yarn over, you come in from the front and go around the post like that. And you're going to do that again on the next one. From the front, go around that post, and it's a double crochet like that. Then on the next one, you're going to go behind the post. So you're going to yarn over. You're going to come in from behind and go from front to back around like that. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up. Oopsies. Let's do that one again. So remember, you're coming, we'll just do that again. Coming in from behind, around like that. So the post, you've gone around the post. You're going to yarn over and pull that loop through, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2. And so you're going to repeat that. So around, you're going to go around the front, for the next 2, and then behind for 1. Front 2, behind 1. And you're going to do that the whole way around for the 64 stitches. And it's actually pretty easy. It's just the double crochets, but instead of going through the top loops, you're going around the post. So this one's going to come in from behind, go around that post. So you see what it would look like. Yarn over, draw through 2, or I'm sorry, yarn over. Now you draw through 2, yarn over through 2. So you just literally repeat that the whole, my dog is shedding, the whole way around. So it kind of gives that textured look like that. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we've made it all the way around. We only have 2 more rounds to go and we are done. But you can kind of see the 3D effect that it gives. It's kind of nice. So I've already chain 2. So I'm going to do that whole pattern again. So it's going to be around the front post and it's a double crochet. And we'll do that again. Just around, whoa, hello, the post. And then we're going to go behind. That post. And we're just going to repeat it all the way around for 64 stitches. And to be honest, the next row is going to be exactly the same. So you can finish this row, join, chain 2, and then you're just going around the post, behind the post. Well, around the front 2, behind 1. So it's pretty simple. It's just going to continue around, and I think what I'll do is just come back when I'm finished, and I'll have it all the little stitch markers out and just kind of finish up everything. And I'm crocheting out of the video. And honestly, this pattern, you can have this done in, I'd say, if you're pretty fast about it, 3 hours and less. I mean, you could probably have it done in 2. But it probably took me overall, because I am doing it a little bit slower because I'm doing a video, just in parts. But when I pause the video and I go pretty fast. But you can have this done in an evening, and it's just a really cute hat. And I'm big into hats and scarves and stuff because I absolutely love winter. And with short hair, it gets a little cold out there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished the 22nd round, and when I put it on my head, because I'm making this hat for myself, I am not going to put on the 23rd round. You can always test it if you're making it for yourself. You can test and see how well it fits. So I'm going to go ahead and fasten off this, and I'm going to get my tapestry needle, and I've got my pom-pom that I'm going to sew onto the top, and I'm going to take all of these out. But yeah, they're nice to have. But this is what it looks like. It's just really hard to get a good angle, but you can kind of see how it looks. It's cute. All right, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've got my pom-pom, and in the kind that I have, it's got like this little loop here, and I have my tapestry needle. With the hat from the Magic Circle, you have that tail, and I'm just going to use that to put the pom-pom on this side. So I'll be back. Well, there you have it. Super easy, Super cute. Look at that. I can't wait to wear it. It is easy to crochet. And again, the website that I found it on was 5 Little Monkeys, and 5 is the number 5 and not spelled out. But yeah, it really turned out super, super cute. Thank you guys for watching, and send in your comments, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to start this new year off with posting videos regularly. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.